So as you can see, still raining, so we're going to work on the inside.
So, as you can see, we're not on a roof right now. We're in Alex's room. We decided to do this because the temperature that we have a lot of rain in the forecast, but at the same time, we still have 90 to 100 degree temperature in the forecast. That's the reason why we're not opening up the other container and starting on the kitchen dining room area. So we decided to put that off. We're going to do that probably another month and a half, and we'll start on that project when the weather starts to cool down a little bit, since it's not going to be insulated the whole time. So, but right now, as you can see, we're in here. We're going to be working on the floor. We're going to add some flooring, so we're going to put some padding down, and then the interlocking flooring. So the first thing we want to do is get the floor cleaned up real good. We don't want any little loose debris or anything like that to cause any problems and potentially damage the wood flooring by causing little bumps on the ground as it's being walked on. So that's what we're going to be doing right now, and this may not take that long, so we'll see how it goes.
So here, we're laying it down just to get a rough estimate of what it's going to look like. Later on in the video, I'm actually going to cover why I didn't just go with this generic pattern. It didn't look as natural as it could be. So, you'll see us change it up in a little while.
So, because this is used, this is some of the stuff we've gotten from some friends. There's some things we had to keep in mind while I was thinking about while I was putting it down, is that this end here has got a groove, so it can lock onto another piece. But this end has been cut, so this piece can't lock onto another piece, so that means this piece has to go against the wall. Now, this piece here, it's actually got the lip to lock and the other piece that locks in on both ends. So this piece could actually go in the middle somewhere and be locked in on both ends. So since it's kind of used, I'm kind of getting some pieces out here, staggering them out a little bit so you don't just have a simple seam. And then at the end of the day, I've got 40 or 50 pieces of this size that I really can't do anything with. So we're going to try to use as much as we can of some of the cut pieces that we have already and try to align them so that we can use pieces with both ends, or pieces that are cut, we make sure that they're against the edge of the wall. And so one of the other things too that that as we were doing this, we wanted to make sure that we leave a little bit of a gap on the ends, not a whole lot, anywhere from like 1/8 to 1 inch, maybe 1/4 inch, to give it room to expand if needed. That way it's there, that way you don't have any buckling or anything like that. But not too much of a gap so the pieces slide and now you have spaces forming in the rows. So that's just one little thing we're thinking about, and I want to let you guys know. So, in line with what we talked about earlier, what I've kind of done right here is you can kind of see a basic outline on the floor here of kind of what we're going to be doing here. So it's kind of staggered, that way you don't have seams, you know, meeting up with each other on two different rows. And it also kind of changes the grain of the wood, since they're all not all the same. You kind of have that little bit of mix and match a little bit. Kind of gives it a little, naturalness looking to the wood, as natural as you can get with fake wood flooring. So. So, when you're doing these, you can measure if you want, but you don't really need to. So, but you can't cut here because you need this piece.
Wow.
So you flip it around, put it up against the wall, and make your mark. That way, you cut this piece off, and you got the end with the lip that you want. my dad always told me, measure twice, cut once. So here we are. Finished the floor in the room, all the way in the corner. Now you see there are some slight gaps on the side, but there has to be, otherwise you won't be able to get the woods to lock in place. But yes, so at the same time, you're gonna have some baseboards around the bottom. It's gonna cover all of that up, and it'll look straight. So here we are.